Hi, welcome to my channel, Journey to Hydroponics. In this video, I hope to address some questions about growing microgreens. Let's start. I've been able to harvest amaranth, mustard, kale, radish, red beets, basil, and mizuna, all in less than 15 days. They all have their own unique flavors, and the great thing about these microgreens is that the process for germinating and growing are the same. There are many other types of microgreens out there which I still need to try. Certainly you can use soil, but for me, I'm concentrating on growing microgreens indoors. As a matter of fact, under my bookshelf and under a controlled environment. So I use coco peat because under an indoor hydroponic environment, it is an ideal medium for microgreens and indoor plants. It's a soilless and organic medium which provides great oxygen and water retention. Coco peat can also be sterilized in the microwave and be reused as well. You want to be sure that the coco peat you're starting with has no larvae, no pathogens, no bugs, no mold or fungus, which may be harmful to your seedling or plant. If you don't have a microwave, you can pour boiling water on your coco peat and leave it alone until it cools down. Then rinse out the water. Or you can use 3% hydrogen peroxide. Mix about 2 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide with 1 liter of water and leave it alone for at least 4 hours before draining out the water. I find that when you place weights on your microgreen, it compacts the coco peat, and as the seeds germinate, the weight forces the roots to get deeper and somehow stronger. Let me share with you an experiment I did. I placed a weight, a wood plank, on the left side of this microgreen amaranth. On the third day, I removed the wood plank, and you can see the shoots under the weight seem bigger and stronger. On the fourth day, the leaves looked more or less the same, but as it kept growing, on the 13th day, you can now see the huge difference. The stems under the weight have grown much larger and are even taking over the stems on the right side. So, yes, weights do make a difference. Well, yes, you can. But it is preferred to place microgreens, at least most of them, in darkness for the first 3 days. When you place the microgreen in darkness, its stems will begin to reach out and search for a light source, so the stems eventually get longer than those germinated under light. Well, after 3 days in darkness and you're ready to place your microgreens under the lights, if the coco peat feels dry, you may water the microgreens from the top to moisten the coco peat, but only do this on the first day under lights. On the second day or third day, while growing under lights, if the coco peat feels dry, do the bottom feed. You see, you want the roots to settle down. If you are watering on top, the seedling's roots will eventually be exposed and eventually die. Also, we want to prevent fungus from setting in. So, do bottom feed your microgreens. You'll be surprised how coco peat quickly absorbs water. Let me show you something. Here is a mizuna microgreen ready for bottom feeding. I'm pouring the water or nutrient solution inside the tray, about 2 millimeters deep. Look, the cocoa peat has absorbed the liquid. You can see the liquid mark on the sides of this container. Now, look at the tray. It is completely dry and it's just in a span of less than 2 minutes. That's how good and quick cocoa peat absorbs liquid. Yes, just leave your tap water at least overnight on an open container to let the chlorine evaporate. I use water to moisten the cocoa peat and seeds when preparing to germinate them. But when the microgreen is under the light, I bottom feed the seedling with nutrient solution. These are the kale on the first day under the lights. They look the same in size comparing the leaves and stems. I label the left NS for nutrient solution while the right will be using water. So here you see me using water on the right kale, while on the left I will use a nutrient solution. Nine days later, you can see a higher kale on the left compared with the kale on the right. The right kale has smaller leaves than that of the kale on the left, which was fed with nutrient solution. This is harvest day for the two kales. You will see a considerable difference. Aside from the height, the leaves are much bigger with the nutrient solution. So, yes, you can grow microgreens using water, but you can also use nutrient solution, which does make a difference in the end. Since microgreens are basically seedlings and harvested in about 15 days or less, you can grow them using your desk light as you see here. These are basil seedlings grown under this desk light right after 3 days inside the box. Now I keep the lights on from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. What do microgreens taste like? Well, if you eat them fresh, here's my opinion. For red beets, they taste earthy, very similar to the root. Mizuna and mustard, they have the flavor of wasabi without the heat, so I like them a lot. Amaranth, they're kind of milder red beet, earthy to taste. Kale, they taste a little bit sweet, kind of like broccoli. Basil, well, I love basil, so they're a little bit sweet, and yes, they taste like basil. Radish, slightly peppery in flavor, a bit bitter at the start. So get your favorite lettuce, mix it up with these microgreens, and they absolutely will add more flavor to your salad. Growing peas, growing barley, growing sunflower, and pak choy microgreens. I'm really looking forward to growing these seedlings. There are just so many out there that you can grow indoors and harvest them in just a few days. So with so many varieties and flavors, rich in nutrients like vitamins and minerals, why not give microgreens a try? Thank you for joining me in this microgreen series. Do stay tuned to this channel as we journey further into hydroponics.